Hey everybody, this is the syllabus video for History 132 Blended. I am gonna pretty much hit the high notes on this, and I'm not gonna read every single word to you because you can read. I'm gonna get to the most important parts. You need to watch this video in full and you need to read the syllabus in full. Alright, here we go. This is History 132, American History 2, Section B01, the last day to drop this course with a WD as opposed to a WF is November 4th. Okay. A little bit about me. I'm a Capricorn. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I am a Capricorn, but that's not on here. So I am Amanda Jewett-Sakanis. My office is in STEAM B124. My office hours are Monday. I have morning and afternoon office hours on Monday, 8:15 to 9:15 in the morning, and 2 to 3 in the afternoon. On Tuesday, Thursdays, I am around from 10 to 11:30. I am also around at other times, but those aren't designated office hours. These are the ones that are just designated office hours. If none of these times work for you and you want to meet with me, just send me an email and we will make that happen. Email, in fact, is the best way to reach me. My email address is right there. I check it pretty often, especially if I'm at my desk doing work. I tend to hop over to it and check it every couple of hours. I will check it probably at home for the last time at about 6 p.m. And then I will check it in the morning. I'm at the office by 7:30, Monday through Thursday, so I will check my email by 7:30 in the morning. So your class is in the afternoon, so there should be absolutely no issues with me seeing an email from you if you send it the evening before or the morning of. Now I have a class directly before yours, so if you send it at like 1 o'clock, I may not see it until after our class because I have back-to-back classes on Wednesday and you guys are the second class. But bottom line is I respond pretty quickly and pretty often, so email me if you have any sort of issue or question and I will get back to you pretty quickly. Alright, we are starting with Reconstruction. I'm going to talk about like the end of the Civil War, give you a little bit of information on the Civil War, and then we're going to go into Reconstruction. We're going to go through many years, over 150 years. Well, not really 150 years because it's been over 150 years, but I'm not going to get up to right now. We're going to get to about 2008. We are blended, so we have weekly face-to-face sessions, but you are going to be doing stuff online each week before we see each other in class. Okay? So you will have things to watch and do. You're going to need to watch lecture videos. You're going to need to do readings before our meetings on Wednesday. Okay, we only have 80 minutes together each week, so we're going to use that to discuss the stuff that we have watched and read for that week, okay? That is what that time is for. If you have a question like what is Reconstruction, obviously you didn't watch the videos, and I'm not even going to answer that because we are, here to talk about history, but you need to do some prep beforehand so we can really get to the good details and the fun stuff. So please come prepared to discuss those things every Wednesday from 2 to 3:20 in Smith G101. Things you will be able to do. You will be able to write argument-driven, evidence-based essays analyzing significant historical developments. I hope that you guys are excited about talking about history. Historians also love to write about history, so there is a good bit of writing that you will do. Papers are a big chunk. We'll talk about that when we get to the breakdown of the grades. You're going to read, think, and write historically using primary source documents. Primary sources are things that are written at the time. So, something written by Frederick Douglass in 63, something written by, I'm trying to pull like some of my favorite people, and it's hard because you can think of like the major ones like Woodrow Wilson or Teddy Roosevelt. But I'm like, okay, well, something written by Florence Kelley and Elsie Hill in 1923. So, like all that kind of stuff. Things written by those people during that period, those are primary source documents. We're going to practice critical thinking with our evidence-based arguments and challenging arguments that we're given. If I make an argument about something, because I do tend to make arguments about things, it's that whole history thing I got going on, and you disagree with my assessment of something, if you find alternate evidence in the books, or something like that, some sort of historical evidence that is peer-reviewed scholarship, and you want to be like, hey, I think you can interpret it this way as well, I totally want to hear that. Because if it's evidence-based, you're probably right, because there are many ways to look at this stuff, and I want to know what you guys think about it. We are going to recognize and use the concepts of change, continuity, and contingency to learn how the struggles we face are not unique to our time and understand what predecessors did when confronted by similar problems. Hooray! Take responsibility for your own education by asking and answering questions of your own making. A lot of that is going to take place in our discussions. I'm going to ask you guys questions, you're going to ask me questions, we're going to answer questions that are mine and questions that are yours. Questions and answers abound. It's kind of like Oprah. You get questions and answers, and you get questions and answers. Everybody gets questions and answers. We are going to, do some historical interpretation. We're going to use varieties of evidence to offer perspectives on the meaning of the past. That's what I'm talking about when there are many ways to interpret certain things that happened and make arguments about them. We're going to do that. Okay. All right, lots more about, using evidence to make arguments. We are going to understand some of the political, economic, and social, as well as environmental and cultural causes that together transformed life in North America. We're going to consider questions of race, class, gender, sexuality, region, ethnicity, and culture to evaluate the continuing struggles for equality and access in America. Books, 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 books. So, as mentioned in that welcome video, there are 2 books. You have Give Me Liberty by Eric Foner, which is the textbook. That is the secondary source. Eric Foner is an historian who looked at a bunch of primary sources and other scholarship and wrote a textbook, which is kind of crazy and amazing that people can do that. So that is our secondary source, Give Me Liberty, Volume 2, 5th edition. ISBN number is included there. The other book we have is Voices of Freedom, a documentary history. Those are primary documents. That's chock full of primary documents. The only things that are not primary documents in there are the introductions that Foner writes to introduce you to the document, tell you what it's about, that kind of stuff. That is also Volume 2, 5th edition, and the ISBN is included there as well. We will have additional readings on Blackboard too. Okay. We do not use e-text. I have to have that section in there and then say I don't use it. So we don't use it, so don't worry about it. Course overview. How do we explain the rise of a modern American nation? Between 1865 and the early 2000s, the United States emerged from shattered and divided disunion with weak claims to Western territories to become a diverse, powerful world empire. How did it happen? That was not an inevitable outcome, okay? And not everybody was jazzed about it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to answer really interesting and important questions. What does freedom mean? Who is an American? And what is the proper relationship between individuals and government? So we're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff. All right. I know you're like, okay, Amanda, super duper, but how are you going to grade us? Let's get to the actual stuff that, really important stuff. Okay. The grades are pretty clear cut. 20% of your grade is going to be participation. And like I said in that welcome video, we're going to do sort of a seminar style discussion each week. So I'm going to mark off when people make points or answer questions that are related to the discussion. And you will have to participate a certain number of times to get a 100 for that day. Okay? So if you are absent, you'll get a 0 participation for that day. Now, we're going to meet, like 16, 17 times? So there's room to miss a day or 2 if you need to. But you don't want to do that too often because that's a 0 participation each day. Okay. I think you will also have a discussion board that is online the week of Thanksgiving because we don't meet that day, because that Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, the college is closed. So you have something that week to make up for the lack of an in-person meeting. That will also be rolled into the participation average. 40% of your grade is exams. Multiple choice, true, false, and identification questions. And I'm sure you're like, your math is terrible. 40% does not divide equally amongst 3 things. You are correct, it does not. My math is terrible, but this was actually intentional. The first exam only counts for 10%. That is my cat scratching. Monty, I'm trying to like do something important and grown up, because I'm an important grown up. I'm not really that important. So Monty, can you, yeah, thank you. All right. So that's my cat Montgomery. He's named after Montgomery Scott from Star Trek. My other cat Tiberius is named after James Tiberius Kirk. Just in case you were wondering how cool I was, super cool is the answer. Okay, so we've got 3 online exams. The first one only counts for 10%, and that is because you may have never taken a test with me before. You may have never taken an online test on Blackboard before. You may have never taken a test with identification questions before. That first test counts less because you're less sure of what to expect. Exams 2 and 3 are each worth 15%, so once you've had that first test, you've gotten feedback from me on the identification, you will know how to do better. Now, that being said, you're not walking into the identification blind or anything. You're going to have an exam FAQ video you can watch. You're going to have an identification example answer. You're going to have meetings with me in class where you can ask me questions about it. You can send me emails about it. So it's not like it's going to be just, surprise, here's an identification, good luck. You're going to know how to do it and what's expected of you. The other 40% of the test is papers, or sorry, 40% of the grade is papers. Papers. You will write 2 3 to 5 page original argumentative essays based on course readings addressing major themes in the course. Yay, papers. And this should actually say /assignments. This is why it's important to do these things early, so that by the time you guys actually get this, it's all correct. Proofreading, I'm telling you, it's important. All right. Each paper is worth 20%. They will be posted, or you will post them in Blackboard. They're going to be submitted in Blackboard, and they'll run through SafeAssign to check for plagiarism. I will do comments both on the paper by highlighting things and making comments in the paper itself, and I will do global feedback in the feedback to learner section on the paper. You will get copious feedback from me so that you know how to improve, because again, if this is 40% of your grade, shouldn't you get better at it, and shouldn't I care about what you do? So you're going to get a good deal of feedback, and hopefully you will all improve in your writing as the semester goes forward. All right, the Grade Center. Everything you're going to need to know about your grades is in Grade Center. The primary focus of when I grade something is the content. Did you answer the question? You know, if the paper is a 2-part question and you only answer the first part, that really puts me in a tricky spot, because technically I can give you a 50 because you only didn't have the assignment. But what I'll do instead is hope really hard that you answered the first part of that question really well with really good sources and it's really well organized and the mechanics are good, because then I can give you more than half the grade. So please answer the question or questions in full. Support the answer or argument with proper evidence from class readings. We are not doing research papers in here. Everything comes from course materials. Formatting and mechanics are also important, but they will play a smaller role. Now, that being said, if your spelling and grammar is so unproofread and unchecked that I can't read the paper, then we're going to have problems. I will make every effort to return tests and papers within 2 weeks, and smaller assignments like that discussion board that you're going to have over Thanksgiving week within 1 week. I will provide comments and feedback directly on any in-class work you do, on your exams, and that should say your Blackboard papers. See, again, proofread. See, I'm learning my own lessons here. And see, you're even going to watch me change it, because I'm not going to pretend that I had this right the whole time, because editing is a process. Digital copies of your papers. And I don't think we really need that. I think we're just going to edit together. How about that? Boop. How about that? How's that look? Comments and feedback directly on your in-class work, exams, and the digital copies of your papers to make sure you get detailed feedback on your work. There you go. But look at that. Yay! We did it. We edited. Look at that. See, even like grown people like me need to proofread their stuff, right? So proofreading is important. Late work policy. I do not accept many things without a documented excuse. Like your discussion board, for example. I will not exempt a 0 participation grade without documented excuse. Tests cannot be taken late without a documented excuse. That's a doctor's note, a death in the family. I need documentation of some kind. I don't need anything like really gnarly details or anything like that. But I need you to be able to show me, yes, this I missed because of this. And I can be like, okay, let's extend that deadline for you and give you full credit. Papers need to be turned in by the start of class time on the due date, or whatever due date they gave you. I think some of them might be due on Fridays because we are a blended class. So my online classes, everything's due on a Friday. My seated classes, everything is due the day that it's due. So I think it is a blend, much like we are blended. I think that the due dates are blended. I've worked on so many classes I can't quite recall when everything is due. But late submissions of papers are accepted. However, they will be deducted 3 points for each day, not class day. We only meet once a week. So if you have a paper due on a Wednesday and you're like, I'll just turn it in before class next Wednesday, you've lost 21 points. Ouch. So don't do that. Once it reaches 2 weeks past due, I won't accept anything. Okay? All right. Some extra credit opportunities may be offered. I'm the History Club faculty advisor. If you want to join History Club, let me know. We're going to do some events probably this semester, and there is an extra credit discussion board available to you as well. So there are a couple of opportunities to help you scooch up your grade just a little bit if you need it. All right. This you can read on your own. It's basically everything I've said. You need to, do your stuff. Wait, that's twice. We don't need that twice. We don't need, again, proofreading. Fundamental. Right? See, look, there it is right there. I already had it in there. Yeah. All right, grade point scale, 10-point scale. Okay, critical, oh my gosh, I can't even talk anymore. Critical success strategies, things you need to do to be awesome, which you might already be awesome, but to be awesome in the class. Check your email regularly. I've already told you how often I check my email, so check your email. Anything changes, a due date, a class meeting location, if I had to alter a test question or whatever, I'm going to email you and let you know that. So if you're not checking your email, you're not going to know those things, okay? So please check your email regularly. We're going to go pretty fast. You need to know that. You need to be able to read everything before class discussions, okay? All right? You're going to watch lecture videos. You're going to watch other videos. You're going to read outside of class. So you got to be prepared to put the time in, okay? And then we're going to meet in class and just have awesome discussions, which I'm very excited about. We're going to use Blackboard, so you're going to need to know how to do that. Jolt can help you with that if you need like some sort of tutorial. They're pretty great. Lecture outlines are provided on Blackboard for you to fill out as you watch the lecture. This is if you want to. You do not have to fill out the outlines if you do not want to. They are optional. They are really helpful for some people. Everything that's on a test comes from the keywords in the lecture outlines that are from the lectures. So some people put extra spaces in between and just fill in the stuff I say about the keywords. Other people print out the lecture notes, which is the actual script that I use to lecture from, and they highlight the critical stuff as I talk. It can be really helpful for preparing for tests or for looking for specific evidence for papers. And some people actually were a little bit uppity that I included my notes after I had not included them and got asked to. I had students who were like, I don't know why she includes her notes. Well, here's the way to put it. You may not need them, but they might really help somebody else. So they are there for people to use if they would like to use them. We're going to use respectful language to refer to groups, individuals, and fellow students. Comments and feedback given to fellow students should be constructive. Harassment or inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated. We are talking about many, many, many hot topics. There will be discussions of lynchings. Okay? There will be discussions of women's rights, sexual assault. There will be discussions of globalism and economics and politics. These are all things that people can really get in a tizzy about. And it's okay to disagree. I have zero problems with students disagreeing in class discussions. We just need to do it respectfully. Not everyone's going to agree with my opinion, which I'm going to be teaching to the facts, but I will also give my opinion occasionally in discussions if it is welcome or asked for. You are welcome to give your opinions in discussions too. We can disagree with each other, and we can have even better, more constructive discussions when we disagree, as long as we are respectful about it. Plagiarism will not be tolerated. Please do not do it. I do not know all of you, but I can say this with 100% certainty. You are all smart, capable people, and you are better than cheating. Okay? You will be cheating yourself out of a class you've paid for if you do that. Please do not do that. Okay? Plus, I got to fill out paperwork, so it's like, ugh, extra stuff for me too. But really, you guys are better than that. Please don't do it. You will get a 0 and you'll be reported. Okay? Please, 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 please. That should be 50. Do you love how I just apparently didn't proofread this more than twice? I did like twice. If you look at like 6 different syllabi, I guess they start to run together. My bad. Okay, so if you have any questions or you need additional assistance, send me an email. If you want to meet outside of class but can't come to my office hours, we can do some other sort of face-to-face thing, like a Skype meeting. Just check your email, and especially if you try to make a meeting, check your email, right? Because I'll be emailing you back to talk about it. All right, you got to take the enrollment verification quiz. It's on the left side in Blackboard. More on that when we tour Blackboard. The census date is August 28th. You need to take the enrollment verification quiz by that date, please, to stay in the class. All right. You got to be in attendance each week, online, okay? I'm going to track views on the lecture videos, and I got to figure something else out. It's July still, so that's why I don't exactly know what else I'm going to do for the online portion of the class, weekly attendance stuff. So I'll have that figured out before we see each other naturally. But it is July, so I don't quite have my finger on that yet. But attendance is calculated weekly from the first scheduled class meeting to the last. You got to come to discussions. That's half of the attendance. You can miss 2 weeks of class. That is online and in person together. So if you miss, you know, whatever the online weekly attendance assignment is and don't come to class, you've missed 1 week already. So you only get 1 more week. Okay. If you have any questions about that, just ask me. It can be a little difficult with blended classes. All right, religious or solemn observance. Religious practices are awesome, and they're diverse, and they're worldwide, and I think they're super neat. If you need to miss class because you have a religious observance that you need to take care of, something you need to do, just let me know. We have a policy for that. I need the form at least 2 weeks prior to the date you'll be absent. You will miss class, no problem at all, and you'll be able to meet up with me and get the makeup work, and you can get full credit for all that. There won't be a problem. Just let me know. All right, we have a faculty first policy here at JCC. If you have an issue with me, if I have said something that upsets or offends you, if, you know, the tone, we're going to do a lot of things online and tone is not conveyed very well. Have you ever texted a friend something that you thought was nice and they thought you were mad at them? It's kind of like that. It's just words typed up. You can't get, like, if you don't have an emoji attached to it, you don't know how the tone is supposed to be. So it could be that I say something that I mean in a totally innocuous way and someone interprets it as like mean or something. So if you have an issue with me, if there's something that I'm doing that's bothering you, please, please, please talk to me about it. We are all adults, and that is how adults handle issues and resolve them. I will do the same thing for you. If we are having class and you say something that is incredibly inappropriate, if it's inappropriate enough, I'll say something right then. But if it's, you know, a little bit like, oh, that wasn't really a good thing to say, I'll probably contact you or speak with you after class and contact you outside of class, something like that, and I'll let you know, okay? Because again, two-way street, that whole communication thing, and we are all adults. If you feel the problem is too big to talk to me, you can go to my department chair, okay? And then my associate vice president, who is above my department chair, is up there too, okay? Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now, thanks to doing this video, this is 100% proofread, and you will have a beautiful proofread syllabus on the Blackboard site. So, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. You can ask me in class on Wednesday, or you can send me an email before Wednesday. So again, this is something we're doing online because we, only meet half the time, right? So, but I'm happy to answer questions still. It's not just here you go. Like if you have a question about it, all you got to do is send me an email or ask me in class on Wednesday. I'm super excited to do this. I love modern American history class, and I love the discussions we have, and to meet with you guys and get to have 80 minutes to just have discussions about stuff. I am super jazzed, y'all. So in the meantime, read, watch the lecture videos, watch, the Blackboard video if you haven't already, and just let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you on Wednesday.